What is going on, guys? It is Trusty Thrusty or Trust Stories here. I hope each and every one of you guys is having a awesome day. Today I got a kind of different type of story for you guys. I don't really do many drinking stories on my channel just because I don't really drink often, and originally I was gonna do a weed story today. But I wanted to kind of switch it up because I've been doing a lot of weed and vaping stories and smoking stories on my channel, and I really only do those stories just because they're like my favorite stories to tell, and I have like plenty of other life stories, but you guys don't really seem to enjoy the other ones as much as you enjoy the smoking and vaping and weed stories. But yeah, today I got a pretty crazy story for you guys. We're gonna be talking about like the worst hangover I've ever had. Not necessarily like the worst, but just like a really bad hangover I've had. So let's go ahead and jump right into this shit. Starting off, to start off the story, it's your typical Saturday in 9th grade year. I have this one good friend. I've talked about him in many different stories. And he's just like one of my really good friends. I've known this kid since I was like 7, 8 years old, and he's just like one of my boys. Yeah, essentially, I'll go over to his house occasionally, and his mom, and his grandma usually all will just sit out there and smoke cigarettes, and I'll usually just sit out there hitting my jewel. And back in 9th grade year, that's what I used to do a lot. And it's your typical Saturday of 9th grade year. I'm over at my friend's house. Him and his grandma and his mom are all smoking cigarettes. I'm just sitting there hitting my jewel, and his aunt and his uncle pull up, and they bring like a 24-pack of Bud Light, right? And I wasn't really vaping or anything around his aunt and his uncle. His uncle doesn't really give a fuck because his uncle's pretty chill. But his aunt is like a more stricter kind of lady, and she's definitely the type to snitch. So I couldn't vape or anything around here with her, which really fucking sucked. If she had just stayed home or something, I would have been able to kind of vape and drink, and it would have been fucking lit. But she ended up showing up, which really fucking sucked. So I'm just kind of sitting here with them, watching them all drink and talk, and because I'm more of like a quiet, laid back kind of person, and I'm just bored as fuck. I'm kind of pissed off because if his aunt wasn't here, I would have been able to drink and it would have been lit. And so I'm kind of just sitting here, just kind of annoyed, and it gets to be like 30 minutes of me sitting here. It gets to be like 30 minutes of me kind of sitting here bored as fuck, and I'm like, fuck this, I'm gonna grab some beers because they have like a bunch left, and I was just like, they're all enjoying themselves and I can't enjoy myself because his aunt's here, so I'm just gonna grab like 3 or 4 beers for later and put them out in this kid's backyard. And because we were sitting on his front porch all drinking, and I just couldn't fucking drink because his aunt was there, and it really sucked, and I would have been able to drink if she wasn't there. So I grabbed like 3 beers, okay? And I'm a lightweight. I don't drink, and a lot of people think I drink and I do that shit every day, but I really don't drink. I really don't drink often. I'll drink occasionally if I get the chance, because I do enjoy drinking occasionally, but I just don't really drink. And it's never really been something I've been fond to do. There's a lot of people that fucking love drinking and they're super big about it, and I've just never been the type of person to want to drink. I like weed so much more. I feel like when I'm on weed, I make good decisions still, but whenever I drink, I just make the fucking stupidest decisions. So yeah, I just don't like to drink often. And essentially, it's your essentially I grab like 3 beers and I take them to the back of this kid's house, and I lay these 3 beers back there, okay? So I wait like 10 minutes and try not to catch anyone out, because if I just left and there 3 beers were missing, they would obviously blame it on me. And essentially I just sit there for like 10 minutes, and I didn't think they would really, my friend really wouldn't give a fuck, and I think his uncle is the person that bought the beers, and his uncle's really chill and laid back. His uncle smokes and does a lot of other fucked up shit, so his uncle really wouldn't give that much of a fuck if I took a beer or 2. But that's why I took them, and I ended up just leaving these behind this house. So I ended up leaving his house like 10 minutes later. I grabbed these beers, and there's like this little woods area in this neighborhood, essentially in this neighborhood that my friend lives at, right next to my neighborhood. There's this like little woods area in between both me and his neighborhood, and essentially little woods area. It's like the perfect spot to like smoke weed or to drink or just do whatever. And I have like 3 beers, and I don't want to fucking hold like 3 beers at the same time. So of course my dumb ass drinks like a beer, and by this point, I'm a lightweight. I don't really drink often. When it comes to smoking weed, I'm not a lightweight. When it comes to smoking weed, I'm not a lightweight. I can smoke a fuck ton of weed, and not like still feel it. But when it comes to drinking, I'm like the biggest fucking lightweight alive. Essentially, I drink a beer, and I wasn't really feeling buzzed or anything because I just drank it, and so I start drinking the second beer, and I'm like halfway through it, and I'm like, I might as well fucking walk back to my neighborhood. And so like I go through this little woods area, and I'm back in my neighborhood, right? So I'm back in my neighborhood, and me having the thought, I'm like, oh wait, maybe I should just try to bring these beers back to my house and save drink the second beer and then save the rest for later, because I was already starting to feel kind of buzzed, and it wasn't like a good buzz either. It was kind of like a bad buzz. And you know, my dumbass is like, you know, there's no fucking way I'm wasting a beer, and then there's no way in hell that I'm, you know, bringing these home, because I'm obviously gonna get fucking caught if I bring 2 beers home. It's just a fucking stupid idea, and I know my parents are home right now, so I'll just easily get caught, and it's not worth it. Grabbing both of these beers, and I get back to my neighborhood, and I go through like this like one woods patch, so that like no one sees me walking around with like beers. And essentially I'm in this like one like wooded area right by my park in my neighborhood. I'm just drinking the second beer, okay? And by this point I started to have like a bad drunk. I started feeling like a bad drunk. You know, I can take quite a couple shots, but like I can't, you know, just drink a fuck ton of beer that quickly. And essentially, you know, I started having like a bad sickness. And so I just drink this third beer, thinking, you know, whatever, it's probably just you know, just a buzz after effects from me juuling earlier today. It's no big deal. And you know, I drink this third beer, and it's not the fucking best idea again. You know, like, don't drink a third beer, especially when you're starting to have like a bad buzz. You just don't fucking drink a third beer. It's not a good idea. And so my dumbass decides to drink a third beer. I drink this third beer. And you know, I remember just starting to walk home, and I just was kind of really fucked up, and not fucked up in like the good way, like, oh, I'm fucked up, bro, let's go, we're fucked up. Like, it was just like a really bad fucked up, and it just wasn't enjoyable by any means. And you know when you get drunk, you can kind of get dizzy, and you get really confident, and you get kind of fucking stupid. It was just pretty much the dizzy part times 10, and I felt like I had a headache, and I just felt like complete shit. I mean, I just felt like fucking terrible. You know, I go back to my house. I felt like I was gonna kind of throw up as well, but you know, I didn't end up throwing up. I go back to my house. I get home. I just fucking lay down on my bed, and you know, I just lay down on my bed, take like a fucking 2-hour nap. I remember waking up and just having like the worst aftertaste, and still being a bit buzzed off the beer. Yeah, if you guys did enjoy the story, make sure to leave a like on the video. I know I sound really tired. I have like a paper I have to work on for school. It's the end of the semester. I'm so ready to be done with this school shit. Like, I can't wait just to, you know, focus up on YouTube over the summer, and just, you know, to just do YouTube all, like, full time over the summer, rather than, you know, focusing on school majority of the time, and then, you know, having to do YouTube. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on the video. If you want to hear more stories like this, I don't really do drinking stories often, just because, you know, I don't really drink often. I don't really like drinking. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the story, make sure to leave a like on the video. It's been your boy, Trusty the Rusty. Peace out.